Okay, I was worried there for a second. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we are What? Today we are reviewing the John Carter movie.
That's right, folks. Back in 2012, this movie came out. Now I know there's going to be a lot of haters out there who absolutely despise this movie, and I'm perfectly fine with that because
He likes it.
I love it. It's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you haven't seen all the movies I've seen, so
Well,
we actually had the luxury of seeing the movie in 3D. Little guy was only about 3 years old. The whole family went.
I was like 1. I don't know. I think it was 5.
Too bad.
I don't know.
Figure it out.
Anyways,
birthday 2012.
Yes, I was like, what, 5? Anyways, so we went to see it in 3D. I think you already said that.
Okay, maybe you were 4. But yeah.
No, I was like 6. So
we had an absolute blast. We loved the
I
movie.
don't remember it. In fact, he could be completely lying, and we didn't ever watch it. Which I'm theorizing that might be the case, despite the fact that I know for a fact that isn't the case.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's no evidence either way, so it technically could go either way, but
I think I got the movie stubs. So,
perhaps.
We had a blast, and I'm going to be honest, it could have been better. But
Well, of course, I noticed that it wasn't based off the first book, which is the only one I've read.
No, it was based on several books
it
squished
feels
together.
like, yeah, it was just a bunch of stuff.
Squished
Yeah,
together.
there's a lot of stuff that I know didn't happen, but that he's talked about in some of the other books that we've made the reviews for. We haven't uploaded them yet. And...
Yeah, but the movie's based on a series of 10 books that they couldn't squeeze it all into one.
Even though they could have very easily made Alta News, and probably they would have made money if they actually tried.
Yeah, we'll go into that in a minute. They had to squeeze all they could into one movie, like you said, knowing that they weren't going to pursue the franchise or the IP. And for me, I look at it like this: if you're a John Carter fan, and you want other people in your family or friends or what have you to get into it, this is your perfect gateway for John Carter. Sit them down, invite them over, make some popcorn, watch the movie, enjoy the heck out of it, and then say, oh, so you liked it? Well, here's Princess of Mars, or here's the comic book omnibus, or something like that. There's so much John Carter material out there between the books, the comic books, the games, the movies, the old 1980s, not 80s, I want to say 90s or early 2000s action figures that were very cool. Long before the movie came out, the action figures were really, really cool. Some of them were even electronic and had voices and things like that, but we'll maybe go into that later on down the month, since we're doing all John Carter this month. This is, Taylor Kitsch did a pretty good job as John Carter. They like the Conan movies. They should have dyed his hair black because he had black hair, but apparently, the budget can't afford a $7 bottle of hair dye for the movie. Lynn Collins, I would have never picked her as Deja Thoris, but then again, maybe if they had applied the red body makeup that everybody in the cast should have been wearing.
That's... Okay, there's a difference between buying some piece of hair dye that literally every college kid is buying nowadays,
right,
despite the fact... Never mind.
Right.
But applying entire body makeup...
Hundreds, if not thousands of extras wearing red makeup. Or just, or just digitally, do it after.
It wasn't... Technology wasn't that good, but...
I bet they could have done it.
They could have, but I don't think it would have looked that
considering what they did with the Green Martians, that would have been...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think they could have done it. They went the other route. That's fine. I get it. It would have been a lot of work and a lot of money to make it more accurate. Willem Dafoe was great. I could not help picturing him, as Tarkus during the whole movie, knowing it was him, recognizing his voice from lots of other things that he's done. He did a great job, considering you couldn't see him, and we're probably, better off not having to look at him. what does Weird Al say?
I don't know.
In
Anyways,
that song,
yeah.
that he's scarier without it on. No offense, William.
Honestly,
you did a great job. I love your work.
I didn't
It's
realize
just,
that at first because the first time I watched it, I was 6 and that was like 30 years ago. So I have no memory of that. But also because the first time I actually have memory of watching it, I didn't realize what movie I was watching.
Because it was on like
not only was it
or Netflix.
I don't know. It was just on. I don't know why it was on. I don't remember the exact reason. But I just walked in and I decided, you know what? I'll just watch this movie. Also, it was in Spanish.
Yeah.
So different actors.
So he actually then watched it all over again from the start.
The very next day. Yes.
Yeah. And
because I only watched like half the movie.
And if I could find like a director's cut of this, with all the extras, and you can guarantee I'm gonna get it. I'm a fanboy. If I could, get more John Carter merchandise, I will. I'm looking for some T-shirts, of the like comic book, first printing, because I have like 10 copies of the John Carter #1 comic book, and I absolutely love it. But I don't have a T-shirt, so I gotta grab one. If you guys see one, shoot me a link or something like that. We're probably gonna watch this movie again this month just because we're doing the John Carter month. Not just John Carter, but other stuff. But Edgar Rice Burroughs, and I always think about how influential this movie was. Everybody who's ever made anything, science fiction or fantasy, harkens back to this. Star Wars obviously, was greatly influenced by this. Dungeons and Dragons was influenced by this. Hundreds of other comic books and pulp novels after the fact were influenced by this. This is just such a great story, and we were robbed. We should have got a little bit better movie. We should have got all 10 books in movie form. We should have got a cartoon. We should have got a TV show. Maybe all these things will come.
Well, the TV shows weren't really a thing back then.
No, I mean we should get them in the future. Someone should really, give the Burroughs Foundation the tribute and the respect they deserve. They've kept it strong and alive for a long, long time, and with some of the stuff that's coming out that's just absolute garbage, in all kinds of medias, we really deserve the full scoop, the full story. For those of you who are for whatever reason not inclined to read a book, and would like to see the whole story, I really think that Disney they we all know they went out of their way to sink this movie, and Disney has yet to make a movie other than John Carter that didn't have action figures, T-shirts, drinking cups, plates, beach towels, all that other stuff. But with this one, they said, we're going to spend $200 million, and we're not going to do any sort of advertising. We're not going to do any merchandising. We're not going to do anything else because we just got a hold of Marvel and Star Wars, so we're just going to put all our money over there. We got robbed, and that's why the movie isn't as great as it could have been. That's why we got nothing after the fact. We got nothing before the fact. We were, me personally, I've been waiting for this movie most of my life, good 40 plus years, wanting to see this on the big screen. And I wasn't disappointed like everybody else was, but, knowing what I know, having done some research as to, why they did what they did, I'm less of a fan of the company that put this out, but I will, yeah, we don't need to get into current events. You guys all are pretty aware of what they're doing to the world. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, well, you're probably better off. Yeah. But, I'm going to continue to watch this movie. I hope you guys do too. If you have never seen it, find a way to get, watch it for free on Netflix or something like that.
I don't think it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it's been off for a while. But, borrow a copy from a friend who likes it. You might be surprised. Just remember, they did some of the things they did on purpose, and, it's still a good movie. It really is. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys leave all kinds of comments in the comment section about it, and let us know why you don't like it. Sure, there's some little details, in the story they tried to tell that aren't canon, but come on, folks, how many other books translated to movies did they do that to? I can list 10 off right now, but we're gonna say goodnight instead. What?
Nothing. Anyways, I believe that is it for today.
Yeah, I've said my piece. I want you guys to, just, give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe, maybe if you watched it and you didn't like it, maybe, watch it again and realize the things that, I dropped on you if you didn't know these things, because, for a movie that they tried to kill,
It's pretty good.
It's pretty damn good.
I mean, that's coming from someone who's only read one of the books.
Yeah.
So, it's not the best, but still.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I mean,
I'm definitely gonna read the other ones, but
yeah, if you know nothing about John Carter and you watch the movie, you know a lot more than you think you do, and so enjoy, folks. We'll see you tomorrow with some more John Carter goodness. Actually, it's not John Carter tomorrow. It's something else by Edgar Rice Burroughs. But you guys can guess. I'm sure it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do next. Because tomorrow's Wednesday, and I do it.
I haven't actually done that one yet.
Yeah. So until then,
weird
folks.
How we order these. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, that's about it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Get it?